I'm done. Say I'm done forever. Yeah, back tomorrow by one. Oh, yeah. Every beef serious to you, start flattening. Experts.
Hello everyone, sorry about that little mix up here. Just getting everything kind of straightened out on my end. This is my first time using a different program, so I'm gonna get everything sorted out while we start, and then we'll go from there. Man, I was using StreamYard, now I'm using something that was recommended for super tips, and I had it all set up. I thought it would just go right into it, but apparently not. So here we are. We're getting all set up. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Today we'll be going over a little bit of clips from John's week. This is the week in review because he's a weak man. So of course we had to spell it W-E-A-K because he's a weak piece of garbage. So yeah, get a Patreon membership if you're new to the yeah, get a Patreon membership if you're new here, and if you like the content, please support by doing a super tip. Super tips are working. I have some from last week that I think I've attempted to figure out, so let's try to throw them up first before we get going with the clips. Shit. Oh wait, hold up. Son of a bitch. Oh, here we go.
Kinda cute. Wanna rub our sticks
And damn.
together and see if...
Well, here's the first one. Yeah, you're kind of cute. Want to rub our sticks together, see if we could start a fire. That is a voice chat, but apparently I can't get it to work still. And then here's another one. Right as we ended last week, somebody sent one. Here we go. Oh shit. I don't know why this isn't working. What a nightmare. Oh, there we go. We all hate Stuttering John. I will never give him a cent. First, he will never pay for his surgery. He's been bailed out his whole life. Let his mom pay for it. This is all her fault. From Shaka John. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. This is all her fault. This is her and his entire family's fault. Partly his sister, too, because instead of kicking the ass of the people that were picking on him, she should have been kicking his ass because he's a piece of garbage. And we've proven that over and over again. Not just me, but anybody who watches Stuttering John, comments on his clips, you know, everything. Like when you leave messages on YouTube, comments on YouTube, excuse me, all of those things just prove how we all agree what a piece of garbage he is. And yet still people claim that people in his camp, meaning $2 Dan and Ava, claim that he's a good person. When only two people claim you're a good person, you're probably not a good person. You're probably a piece of shit. And now I'm not claiming that all of us don't have our shortcomings and, you know, maybe we all haven't been the best human beings in the world, but we're all a lot better than John is, and that's half the battle. So let me refresh and see what we got going on before we get into the clips. Oh, man. It does say I have new ones, but I don't see them.
Kinda cute. Wanna rub our sticks together and see if we can start
a real
fire?
smacked ass when you're trying to do a show and you're looking for super chats or super tips that you can't find. Let me refresh one more time, and then we'll get into the clips. All right. Well, yeah. So here we go. Let's get into the clips. This first beginning, it's the beginning of the week where John was talking to whatever that dickhead lawyer's name is, and yeah, then we'll do some commenting. Like I said, if you want, supertip.gg/Draper Exposes, and we will get into these clips now.
They're telling me to come over here. Is everything all right?
Oh yeah, if you're on Bob's show, go ahead. Someone just super chat and said, "Send Vince the link. He's got good news for you."
Yeah, no, I mean, I wish I had better news. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, don't worry about this stupid conference with Vince the judge, because, John, as long as you show up or somebody shows up, and I forgot that.
Hold up. The genius of Bob Levy, there's not very many times that you could say that, but I like Bob. He's a great guy. But the genius of Bob Levy is he knows John very well. And he claimed on MLC the other day, I know some people may not be fans of MLC. Kevin is very funny. I like the show. Don't have anything bad to say about Kevin. He's very funny. He said that John would claim that his injury would prevent him from going to the court hearing. And of course, he did that, which is amazing to me. That Bob Levy said that, and John went down that road. Unfortunately, I don't have that clip this week. I'll try to clip that for next week, and I'll just cover it in the very beginning. But it is quite impressive that Bob came up with that. It's pretty brilliant. So let's.
I forgot that an attorney can't just withdraw their
My thought, just to cover that quickly, my thought was that John would go because he wants money so bad that he would do anything to get money. So I just assumed he would go just in case, because he doesn't want the court hearing to fail, unless he knows something that we don't know that it is going to fail. Sorry, let's get back into it.
representation unless the court gives permission generally,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So what does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying because the conference that you have coming up, they're mandating that the attorneys and you appear, or just the attorneys?
I think it's both. I think all of us. I think Shitway has got to appear too.
You guys got to read that carefully, because I don't think that generally is the case.
Oh, really?
So why would you? Yeah, if your attorney just has to go, then you just go. Let the attorney go.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
just
I don't
the
know.
attorney.
Well, I mean, I know you never like to talk on the phone, but are you free a little later to talk?
Maybe. I mean, we
That's
can't
a
talk
no.
about the case though.
Maybe.
Right.
Oh, I thought that I'm allowed to just ask you some questions about this conference.
We kind of have but I'm just saying, just general legal advice, not for you, but a conference is nothing. But it looks like that Danny's being a hard ass again on you for some reason. I mean, he's a super fan of the Stern Show. I don't know what his problem is breaking your balls with this.
Yeah, I agree, Vince. It's like he must have been a fan, but I think his goal is to make it as difficult.
That's hysterical. He says he must have been a fan. Like, I'm on the team that is trying to that you're trying to sue. So being a fan, you think would overcome my career? Like, that's fucking insane.
Difficult as possible.
Yeah.
Is it because he feels he has a weak
Vince has to be trolling here. Like, this is ridiculous.
case?
No, I don't understand, John. It doesn't make sense. I know he's a super fan of the Stern Show. He's always hanging around the studio trying to get on. You know what he does? Like that bullshit wrap-up show. You know when Howard doesn't want you on the show, so he says, "Oh, just do the wrap-up show."
Yes.
Doesn't care. Yeah, so I think he's gone on that before. Every time I went to the studio, he's always hanging around there. I never met him, but they would say,
I
"Oh,
haven't
that's."
either.
Yeah, like, oh, that's the Danny the attorney. He loves the Stern Show. He's always like hanging around trying to get on the real show.
Is he a good-looking guy?
Yeah, no, he's a great looking guy, actually.
So
Is he Greek, though?
He's a great
Because that
looking
name
guy.
sounded
That's
weird,
weird to say.
Sabalis.
I mean,
Doesn't it sound Greek?
Sounds Greek to me. Why did you say that a gyro is pronounced a different way? I never heard that before.
because just to be a cunt. That's clear. Everybody calls it a gyro. It's just to be a difficult cunt. Is really, sorry, ladies, but it's true. You're just doing that to be a douche. Is really all it comes down to. Who cares how anybody says it? You know what he's talking about.
A jaguar?
Gyro. Gyro.
Yeah, it's a gyro.
I never heard anyone
I
pronounce
swear to
it.
God, ask any Greek person. It's a gyro. It's not a
Really?
gyro.
Oh, I've
The
always called it
gyro
a
is the
gyro.
Americanization of it.
I've always called it a gyro.
And you probably call it a Jaguar. It's a Jaguar.
The car
Yes.
or the animal? Oh, really? I never heard of that.
Yeah, the car is a Jaguar. It's not a Jaguar. It's a Jaguar. And
Really?
yes, and a gyro is a Gyro.
I
I'm a
never, ever.
school teacher.
Oh, he's a school teacher. That's cute.
Yeah, I'd never heard. I mean, I know a lot of Greek, but I never heard him say gyro.
But so what's your good news? Oh, Savalas is from Spain or Ecuador.
It's not Jewish.
I don't. Yeah, but
I don't
so
know. Like, what kind of good news were you looking for? I don't know what that person said. I was on
I
Bob's
don't know.
show.
Well, this guy Nate said send Vince the link. He's got. I thought maybe you would know something that I don't know.
John here is basically always just out for John. He didn't want. I've drawn a blank on. Oh, Vince's. He didn't want Vince to come on the show. He just basically wanted good news for himself. He doesn't care about anybody else in this world except for himself. And I mean, can you be a selfish person and be a good human? I guess so. But he's selfish to the absolute extreme where he can't be a good person. It's not physically possible.
No, well, I know that you're reading the wrong date. Again, another prankster put up a fake document.
Yeah, you again?
No, it wasn't me, but you never know with Shuli's attorney. He falls for anything.
What did you think about him citing that fake post from Reddit, Vince?
Look, he may not be the most tech savvy person, but you should know beforehand. But you have to give it to him. He is breaking your balls for some reason, and he got the judge to do this stupid conference. So now, if you have to go, you have to look in the actual order, mandating individuals or just your representative. Because if you have attorneys, then let them go.
I'm very sorry. This was a lot better when I was clipping it. I'm sure you all want to fall asleep right now. It does get better as we go, though. This is just the beginning.
Exactly. No, I have attorneys, but first of all, I don't even mind going because I could probably get a gig that night in Rochester. And
Yeah, I know. Well,
No, you couldn't.
I originally thought it was Saturday night, but that's what you were saying, the 18th.
yeah,
But
that's what I
Bob's-
thought. 'Cause, yeah.
You're supposed to get your legal documents from your attorney, not from Reddit.
Well, no. I had talked to my attorney yesterday morning, but the judge hadn't okayed it till later on that night, till like 4:30 or whatever. So then, my attorney wasn't in the. It was Passover.
Yeah, I would say that Danny Savalas.
Gotta say that he is a Jewish
He probably settled out of
attorney.
court for a few autographs and a picture with you. He's such a super fan. John.
I don't.
Always.
I don't know what his problem is. It's not like I mean,
What his
it's
problem is.
Vince. It's not a frivolous case, and you're a lawyer. It's
It
not
is.
frivolous. I mean, it's so, and he must know that. No.
I think that he's being an asshole and representing his client zealously, and that sucks for you. It's like he's breaking your balls with this, like I said.
Again, in what profession would you choose where you're going to be shitty at your job? I mean, you're not going to have great days every day, but Vince is acting as if this attorney should just let John win. Like he's doing his job, like he should, like everyone should.
And he really should lay off because he is a fan of the show and he should probably be trying to work it out. Again, you guys got to get your own legal advice. I'm just performing here.
No, I understand that, but I did have some questions not pertaining to this case that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, and I can understand that. But if you
No, what do you mean
have
you
to-
can understand? I'm asking you, can we talk later?
Yeah, I text you. You have me blocked.
Oh yeah, I got on. block.
I've been trying to contact you.
I thought that you were going to pay me some of that money you promised.
Here we go. More selfless John, as I like to say. What in the fuck? I thought you were going to pay me some of that money. So he's looking for advice, and then he wants money from him. So it's purely out of selfish nature, and he just can't not be It's insane.
Promised me.
Oh my God, you're worse than high pitch, man. You
I
guys are
have
always
surgery, Vince.
Wow.
Come on, help the brother out here.
And I'm just going to say, I'm sure everyone knows this right now, but the GoFundMe is up to $900 for John. And I know nobody watching any of these shows about how much we dislike John would give to that. But please don't even give to it as a joke. I thought about giving him $5 and leaving a shitty comment, but unfortunately they disabled the comments in the GoFundMe, so I didn't get to do it. But don't give him any money. He doesn't deserve it. He claims to be a wealthy man with millions of pensions. Why would anybody help him? I mean, if he were to come on and say, hey, I don't have the money, I didn't give to my children, then maybe we would help him. It would be different if he would admit that he's a piece of garbage. Then I would say, let's all help him. But he will never admit that he's a piece of shit. So don't help him.
What happened with your insurance?
You know what? I have insurance, Vince. I swear to God, I have.
No, I know. I love the runaround they gave you. You know, Patrick
is
Canal,
great.
my ethics.
You can have a card all you want. It does not mean you have insurance. The card is just something to show to the ER or the hospital that they can reference when they're looking up your insurance. He thinks the card means he has insurance.
Attorney, he made his bones representing insurance companies. John, they do anything not to pay, like anything
Please
to
don't.
not pay.
But here's the problem, Vince. I had surgery set up for this Monday, and then the place that's doing the surgery, they kept calling my insurance company, and they kept saying that I wasn't covered. Meanwhile, I physically have the card.
What insurance company?
Oh, if I say it on the air, these people, but I'll tell you, I'll
I mean, there's not many of them, but I know they're a pain. in
Yeah,
the
we're
ass.
gonna
That's
call
the thing. They don't
everyone
pick
now.
up, and they have
Don't do
to
that.
verify with the company that you're covered for this procedure, not
Yeah.
necessarily that you have insurance.
No, I am. I'm covered with this doctor. He takes this insurance. The problem is the insurance company.
Covered with this doctor. Let's examine that one. That means he has shitty insurance. Because if he had great insurance like he claims, wouldn't almost all doctors take it?
Because you usually always use an agent to find the best insurance.
Right?
For some reason, the insurance company is not acknowledging it. I was on the phone with them nonstop
And it's so
And-
annoying.
since 10 a.m. yesterday morning. Then I had to talk to my lawyer in between and then go back to the insurance company.
Yeah. So if you can't get this procedure done, you may not be able to make the conference. Your case may get dismissed.
Oh, I'll make the conference. Come on. You think I'm not going to go? Of course I am.
He's
wanna
already
go-
he's already trying to bail on that. It
So
looks
now I'm
like.
jealous. Everyone's going up to Rochester on a Wednesday.
You want to drive up together?
I may consider. I was just thinking about that. I've driven that drive so many times, man.
How
80 to 380 to 81. Oh, you know we can go? They have a casino near there. Turning
all right,
Stone.
let's do it. Let's
You're paying.
do it.
Yeah. Actually, no. You
No
know what?
hype
They have a
in
casino-
Jerry.
I wonder if he ever, at any point when he goes out with Vince or any of the other people that he claims to be his friend, if he ever pretends to pull out his wallet, or he just is so entitled, he's like, I'm not fucking paying. You are, no matter what. Like, man, you must be desperate for friends if you want to hang with a guy who never offers to pay ever. Let's keep going.
Oh, well, yeah, he probably won't want to go. Are you going to be back in the city for the 16th? You have your show, and then the 22nd is the appearance. It's not the 18th now.
No, I know. So I have the 17th of Poughkeepsie, and then I'll hang out with my brother probably, and then I'll probably leave to go out to to Rochester on the 21st.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then,
And then if you want, we could go gambling. By the way, did you see FK Mammy came out again saying she's having sex with you? I mean, how do you
when is this?
no?
Why does that concern him? Why is he so fucking concerned about that?
She just did it, and she said Lori knows about it. Is that true?
No.
So why is she doing this to you?
What is she doing? She's saying I have a big cock and I hooked up with her Peruvian friend and her in a threesome. I mean, what am I going to fight this, John? I'm going to say no.
I mean, that's a good
Well,
point.
but I'm saying why? If it, did- I believe I've defended
You have
you.
been.
Why won't she lie about me?
What?
It's not something you have to defend against. I know you have been, but I'm just saying, like, she's single. She should be focusing on single guys.
Yeah, we're almost
stupid
through
going out with married
this
guys.
clip.
When
I
they're
think
not
Yeah,
Yeah,
married.
this is what she says. She says
the
says
next
she's
one,
been having
it gets
sex with Vince,
progressively better,
the
so.
lawyer, for years. She's in love with him. His wife knows, but Vince says that he won't leave his wife.
Most of that is true, actually. Hey, only most of that is true.
So you're on Bob's show now. So how you do? How
I
you start-
was. No, I'm not on anymore. I don't know. I was on it, but then everyone was saying that you were on, and I go, oh, gee, look at the time. Got to go because Bob knows
I gotta
that
go troll.
I like you more.
Yeah. What's going on with Bob anyway? How's he doing?
He's doing well. Gina's not in town. Gina looks really good. I don't know if you saw it.
That is
Rodney's.
true, actually.
No,
If you-
no,
maybe
I didn't
I know
even
you-
know. I didn't see Bob either.
They were right near the one black couple that Gina was, messing with.
See, I didn't. I was downstairs the whole time. I didn't. I
well,
didn't see any of this
because you
stuff.
were scared of everyone.
I
that
like
was
Gina's
there.
comedy, John, but he has the energy, but the actual content
Is not
doesn't really
good.
make much sense. He's like, oh, racist there, and he points him.
Yeah.
But you don't. I get what he's trying to do, but
I agree with you. He has the energy,
yes,
lacks the material.
yes, thank you, exactly right. Now, which is great because most people don't have the people before
John lacks both. So
him. Didn't have the energy or the material. Whoever was on before.
How was the Rodney guy?
Bad. I mean, the best thing he did was fall down the stairs that night. That was funny.
Right after I went down, then suddenly I hear boom,
shit.
boom, 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 and then and that guy was a fat.
Yeah,
John's here to help people. He's a nice guy. Clearly, he's a nice guy. That fat fuck fell down the steps. Now, I mean, most people that would just be a joke. It would just be like a one-off joke. But we all know John's a cunt. So that's clearly not. He is glad that the guy fell. It took some heat off of John.
I mean, he wasn't in best in shape, but I don't know how he survived that because I don't think I would have survived that. That thing is steep.
I know.
Yo, so
He
Bob
doesn't
and
break
Kevin.
anything, and here I am. I'm falling, getting out of the shower.
And we
Yeah,
all
that is
appreciate
amazing.
it.
Bob and
Thank
Kevin are
you,
doing Rodney's
Florida
on the
Ford.
second. Do you want to go there and assault them when they're on the stage?
Who is
May 2nd. Bob and Kevin.
Pinky is going to go back to doing stand up?
I guess. And
The fear in
Bob
John's
told me
eyes.
that today.
Oh, that is going to be weird. Oh man, and he's not even going to try and warm up. He's just going to go.
This
the first
boggles
gig.
my
I'll tell
mind
you, man.
here.
You know, doing stand up. If you take a week off,
So here, John claims that taking a week off from stand-up will make you rusty. When does John go on stage other than the gigs that he books with his 30-year-old material? When does he go on stage to not be rusty? I would love to know that.
it's like getting. It's not like
Not-
riding a bike, Vince. You have
These
to
are things that John has heard from other comedians, probably mainly Artie, saying things like this, and John picked it up, and now he's regurgitating it because that's what he's heard other people say. He knows nothing about comedy, as we all saw from what he did at the gig a few weeks ago. It was an absolute disgrace and a joke what he did. Like, it was terrible.
I mean, I lose my plays a lot. Like if I don't do it like every day, like when you're in Vegas
Every day. When's he
or
doing
like
it
you're
every
doing any of
day?
these casinos, you're there, 10 shows that week. So you
Right.
got everything down to a T. You know what I mean?
Right.
So did you settle that case? Because you told me you were going to pay me after you did.
Right back to the pay me. Well, we can chat a little bit, but then we're going to go right back to when you're going to pay me shit.
Yeah, we did settle it.
So
We
what
just didn't get
happened?
paid yet. We didn't get paid yet. We're about to. It should be like this week. So maybe, John, I'm serious. Maybe I will go with you. If we get paid before that, the 21st.
I mean, we would definitely have a good time.
Yeah, we will, dude.
Every time
And Vince
you're
the
gonna
judge. And
pay
I can't
and
believe
I'm
your
gonna
judge's
have a
name
good
is
time.
Vince.
Is it? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Vince the judge. Can you believe this guy?
See, I don't read any of that. That's the thing with me.
John is starting to look like, I leave this in the comments all the time. He looks like Walter Matthau more and more every day. And it's just, it's a bad thing, man.
Neither do I.
No, and that's when I realized, wait, I don't want to be a f***ing lawyer. I mean, all that shit, new shit.
You would have never become a lawyer. We could have given you 20 years. You would have never become a lawyer.
Me.
Yeah. You tune out after a few sentences.
Oh, and you see FK Mammy defending you with our whole little ethics problem and all that. She's,
Well, yeah, because we spent the whole day with Patrick, my ethics attorney. He's not my friend now.
So you guys are friends now?
Yeah, he loves like old Stern show stuff, and yeah, we're friends now.
So is he a fan of mine?
Yeah,
Really?
everybody is. I can guarantee you, John, this
Good comment.
attorney Vince the judge probably is a fan because I think he's like about our age, maybe in between our ages, but he's an Italian guy from Rochester. Just like Carl, there's not much going on there. They were huge fans because they had the Stern show from terrestrial radio.
So if I lose this case, are you then going to do the UFC stuff and just do it?
Well, that's the thing. If you have to lose it legitimately, like not on a technicality, like for example,
That's what we're all hoping for.
if you don't show up, you're going to lose the case, right?
Don't
So
show
that
up.
would be a technicality. Yeah, I would. If you lose it, then and the judge rules that they can do what they did, then yeah. So I don't know if Vince the judge understands what's going on. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's got people that will review it, but this is a
Do
technical
you
case.
think, Vincent? I probably shouldn't be asking this, but I'll ask you this. This is not just
Right, generally.
Do you think Danny's doing this just because he knows?
This is just, and then he goes into the exact scenario. This is just, and then I'm going to do the exact thing. Like I'm not going to make a hypothetical, just the exact thing.
Like that, because he's trying to flood the. Do you know what I'm saying? He's trying to flood everything with so much nonsense to try and hide from the fact that they use my voice, name, and likeness to make money without my written consent. You think he's trying to just, like, you know what I'm saying? Just throw everything at the wall, like as Kevin said,
Murder case,
where I'm
John.
throwing spaghetti at the wall. Is that what he's doing now?
I
John's watched
don't
a
think
little
so.
bit
I think
too
he's
much,
doing it
too many
smart,
crime
but he is
documentaries.
again for some reason being a hard ass to you. He doesn't have to be so aggressive,
Yes.
and so diligent representing his clients. He can lay off a little bit because you are the Duke. Oh, I was
Holy
telling this
shit,
to Bob.
is that
This
the
is a
amount?
weird case that I've never seen before. Where if they win and
So I'm
knock
looking
you
at
out
the
of
free
business,
chat,
then they're out of
and
business.
I just saw.
Yes.
I wasn't sure.
Tell me a
how
lawsuit where
much he was
that's
trying to
ever the
sue him for.
case.
Wow, that's a lot of fucking money.
You know what I'm saying? So if they win, they
The
lose.
Nuclear
Yes.
version for
Right? Because if you go
100%.
away, and I asked Bob this today, they win. Let's say they get $100,000 in attorney fees. You go into your hiding, and there's no way to find that money anyway. I know, I tried. And then they try and collect, and you go away. What is Shuley going to do?
I don't know. That's why
Do you
I
want to
was
hear
thinking-
Bob's answer?
What?
I'm serious. This is what he said. Be careful. Shuley can go back to doing comedy.
I mean, come on. Julie
You gotta be kidding me.
might not
Vincent.
be
Yeah, I swear to God, he
on
said
planet
that.
Earth, but compared to John,
It's too late. It's
Hilarious.
over.
I
When
mean,
was it?
for John to
beginning?
laugh like that?
I know.
I know
mean,
he has to do
And
that.
he
He's
said it
putting
with a
on, but-
straight face, like, Bob, what are you talking about?
Wow.
Back to doing comedy.
he never made money doing comedy.
No, never. He did exactly what you did. You used the Stearns name and you put together a show and
Shit,
make that
I'm just
money.
making- I still make money doing comedy. And
No,
by
I'm
the
just
way,
saying, you know, the big money was there. There's nothing wrong with it.
And it was 100% because of the Stern show that John, got a little bit of money from his comedy gigs, and then him and Artie started touring together. That was all because of the Stern show. I mean, Artie will tell you that, and Artie was way funnier than John, so it's a bit ridiculous. As we go on, I think there's a clip about that later on where we see something that Howard said about John, which we've all seen before, but in this context, it works pretty good.
With that. Like Miss Judy's like, oh, why would anyone hired? It wasn't you, but anyone. I'm just like, the comedy business is about how many tickets you can sell, not how great you are as a performer. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Yes.
So when you had the Stern name behind you, same with Shuley, you were selling crazy amount of tickets.
yeah, but the
I don't know about that.
difference is he had to add High Pitch Eric and Ronnie the limo driver. I added people nobody knew. It's like like I'm not saying nobody knew Nick DiPaolo or I mean people might have known them, but it wasn't like they were big Stern.
Which isn't that part of marketing? I mean, UFC doesn't put no-name guys on the top of the, for the championship fights. They put guys that and are invested in. That's part of marketing. So why wouldn't you get High Pitch Eric or some of the other whack packers? That's part of marketing. That's what's going to bring you to the show to pay for the tickets. Now, I don't know. Back then, I was probably too young to, know how many tickets John was selling, but I'm sure Shuley probably sold him mainly off those other characters, which is smart. It's smart marketing.
Impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's no slight to Nick or Jim or Modi or any of them. They just weren't known to stern people.
Sure.
You know, at least not like High Pitch Eric would be or Beetlejuice
Right.
would be. That's all I'm saying. But
Right.
I didn't. So I was a draw at, you know, like at my shows. Whereas when Shitwire had a show, Beetlejuice was the draw.
Absolutely.
Or
I don't know anybody who wouldn't want to see Beetle. I still would like to see Beetlejuice to this day. So
it was Ronnie who was the draw. It wasn't shit. It was never Shitwire. I mean, Vince, I'm being totally honest. And you really think people were like, I can't wait to see the Shitwire?
No way. No one's ever said that ever.
Hey,
all right,
everybody, how are
we're moving on to the next clip. Here we go.
you? I know you missed me. Ah,
No one ever misses him.
I got 2 more days until surgery.
That slick back hair is fucking awful.
Go! Hard to shower. But now the pain's just intense because I can't take any medication. So, I don't know. You know. But it hurts, man. It does.
And he claims constantly that he can handle pain better than anyone and constantly talks about how much pain he's in. What a dumb dick. Like, if you could handle pain, you would never discuss it, right?
But whatever. There is the Duke's GoFundMe set up by James Madison. There it is. They use his voice, sold his name. Now he's fighting back. There's the Duke.
Good luck with that 900. Hopefully he doesn't get much more. That's my hope. And merely for the fact of how many people he has tried to take jobs from. John has tried to take jobs from numerous people. So just off that mere fact, I hope he only gets like $50 more and that's it.
Hanging out on a Stern show. So that's how you can donate. You click on donate now and then you could donate. So
this is at the beginning of the week when it was at $0. I so wanted it to Saturday to come and me to check it and it still be at $0. Man, that would have made my day. But you know he has ball washers like fucking $2 Dan that would donate no matter what. That guy is such a fucking ball washer. It is crazy. I was watching those two today chat and that guy, I think he would suck John's dick if he could. It is crazy.
So that's how it goes. If you want to donate to the Duke's GoFundMe to support me against these monsters, this army of dweebs, gang of dweebs. Aye. Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Howard's getting sued. It's the season of lost.
That's actually kind of crazy, too, on a side note, that Howard is being sued. I know there's probably a lot more to the story than what we've seen so far, but that is kind of crazy that Howard is being sued when Howard has always tried to keep, even though he had a crazy image in the beginning, at a certain point he tried to keep his image completely clean, and now it's kind of starting to come out that he's kind of a piece of garbage, too. Nowhere on John's level, but, you know, maybe Howard was such a piece of garbage that he found comfort in having John around, who was another piece of garbage.
Suits. Yeah, now this is another one. I hear Rob Saul went on Pointless Babble Point. Now, I don't know. Like people want me to respond. Like, am I gonna trash Rob Saul now?
It does speak volumes to Rob not wanting to be around him anymore, partly for the fact that, you know, Rob is now a sober guy, and it's not a real good look to be going on John's show if you're trying to stay a sober guy, going onto his show while John's drinking 14 beers and you're just hanging out, and you know it doesn't look good to be a sober guy putting yourself in that situation on a nightly basis. So I'm actually proud of Rob for that. I know he gets a lot of hate, but you know it would have been easier for him to stick around and just be a ball washer to John like everyone, but it took a little bit of balls to, you know, get away from that, and I'm actually proud of him for it.
I think it's kind of odd, but you know that just do it and shitware. They
Liberal
wanted
John.
me to come on here and trash Rob. That's what the
He'll do it eventually. He's not there. He's in the grieving process. He'll get there.
intention was. They have no love for Rob. They don't. I thought it was odd that Rob said that we were never that close. I mean, I'm going like,
John can't be close to anyone because he uses everyone. So eventually people wake up and run away.
okay, well then who in the Doubleverse have you been close to? I mean, I was the guy that I was on your show and you would come on mine. And I was the guy that always said, I'll take you to the Belmont. I was the guy that accidentally doxed you and then sent you money and felt.
I mean, to add that in there is hilarious. I know doing a live stream, sometimes you say shit because you're just not like you're trying to think of the next thing you're going to say. But to say that I was the one who accidentally doxed you and then paid you, whew, that's fucking bizarre.
Felt horrible. Felt really, really bad. I was the guy.
This is the narcissist pretending to feel bad. He doesn't know how to feel bad.
Defending the honor of Rob Saul for being someone that rescues animals. I was that guy. While Shitware and Lady K were accusing him of diddling dogs. I was the Rob Saul guy. I was the guy supporting Rob Saul. So yes, is it odd to me that he chose to do that? And just do it and Shitway and know, look, this is going to really stick it to John.
Of course, and it did. That's always the goal. I mean, if there's any way and I'm not even saying me because I probably can't afford to get her on here, but if someone could get his wife on the show, I know that's crossing a line, but at some point, there has to be someone who will come forward and say, like, think about it like this, in the fact that all of these documentaries come out now on Netflix saying, like, pointing out and pinpointing how these people are garbage for whatever they do. I have on my YouTube channel video after video of what a shithead John is. So if his wife would just come on and just speak openly and honestly about what a piece of shit he is, I would probably make her feel better. And, we would all be vindicated for hating John so much, although we already have enough evidence as it is. And, I really don't want to destroy John's life or anything or have him lose work because he's already done it to himself. But it would be nice to hear her side of the story.
Suffering succotash. This is going to really stick it to John. That's why they had Rob Saul on. There's no other reason. Rob Saul did how many bits about Lady K and his mom wife? Nobody stands for anything here. You have to understand. Nobody stands for anything. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and trash Rob Saul. He wanted to go on there. The only thing I take exception with was where he said that we were never that close because
he literally said on his show that they rarely ever talked except for about coming on the show. So to me, that's not a friendship. John's not reaching out to him to say, hey, are you okay? How are you doing in rehab? How you doing since you got, sober? Like, John doesn't care about any of that shit. He's at the store buying beer for his next show. So he doesn't care about how Rob feels. I mean, Shuley reached out, as far as Rob said, and asked him how he was doing. Like, that's more than John did.
I don't know. I've had plenty of conversations with Rob on the phone. I even helped him and gave him the criminal report that I filed against Baby Fatsa with the Cape Coral PD to help him when whatever he was dealing with. But that's me. That is me.
Tooting his own horn. Let's go. Toot it.
And I don't mind being a good person like that. That's just who I am. I'm a good person.
Yeah, clearly.
And again, anybody who has ever met me will say the same thing.
Mainly you will say that. You walk away, they probably wouldn't say that, but
I'm a good person. I want the best for people.
You don't.
Even those I can't
stand.
stand.
Like Dad there, but you don't.
I wish them the best. So when I saw Rob Saul on Pointless Babble Point, I was like, all right. I know you all want me to go crazy and go ballistic on him. It's not going to happen. Rob made his choice. God bless him. I'm happy he's sober. Skull. Oh, and I love that. See, the shit where and Lady K try to use their jump off point, like somehow they're now the champions of sobriety. All I know is when I saw Lady K at Rodney's, now I'm not going to accuse somebody of.
Just because Rob is sober does not mean that those people can't go to the bar and have a drink and enjoy themselves on a night out. I don't even understand what he's getting at here. Just because he's sober doesn't mean everyone has to be sober now. John, you drink every fucking day. That's the difference. You drink 10 to 15 beers every day. I don't care if you call it light beer, whatever you want to say about the beer you're drinking. It's to excess.
Of being drunk, but he didn't look too sober to me.
Well, he's
And
a
he
grown
was
ass man. He's
toting
entitled to
his
do that.
beer, albeit very daintily.
John, being the liberal that he is, it's very daintily instead of.
Every beef serious to you start flat.
My bad. Very daintily.
The gang of dweebs. But the funniest thing to me is that somewhere along the way, you folk have decided that having a few beers is bad. That is the silliest, most hypocritical thing I have ever
having
heard.
a few beers.
Because when Lady K
Having a few beers is not bad, John. Having a few beers every single day to excess is bad.
goes to that bar, he's drinking beer. When Pocky was at that bar, he was drinking beer. But yet when I drink beer, I'm a bad guy. When you hang out with your relatives and family and friends at Thanksgiving or Christmas or on your birthday, most of you will be drinking.
You're naming specific days where everyone drinks. Yes, people drink on their birthday, on Christmas, on Thanksgiving. That's what they do. They do it responsibly, John. You drink every day.
Alcoholic
And then you burp.
beverages. But now, the gang of dweebs is trying to make
We want to be cool like you. man.
any alcohol consumption somehow bad. That is the funniest thing to me. Because I defy any of you assholes, and you too, Lady K, I defy you to go watch the Bills game with Moonhead when they play the Dolphins and not drink. Because you will. Let's face it.
Again, it's a Sunday.
All of you fucking hypocrites to fucking beat.
For everyone to be a hypocrite, we would all have to drink every day to excess. Then yes, of course, we're being hypocritical, John. You're naming specific days of the week where people drink. Sunday during football season, of course, people are going to drink. It's what Americans do. Like, I mean, I'm sure they do it in other countries, but specifically football season on a Sunday, you're going to drink.
Somebody up for having a few beers. The lightest, shittiest beer in the world with the least alcohol content going. But you try to take the moral high ground. Happy birthday. Somebody out there. And try and say that drinking now is uncool.
Well, I mean, it's not the coolest thing. I mean, being sober might be a little bit cool to some people.
Now, no offense. I've had beers with Matt Damon, Collective Soul.
I'm sure that was great.
So many
I'm sure they weren't looking at you like you're a douche.
people. George Clooney was I mean, the amount smoking weed with Dave Chappelle and
Whoa.
Snoop asking me to get stoned, drinking alcohol with Ozzy and Sharon.
This is absurd. He sounds like a fucking idiot to be saying this.
But and Howard
Like,
and Beth.
this would be cool to like a 15-year-old kid saying like, "Yeah, I smoked weed with Snoop Dogg." Like, grown people, unless they're addicts or whatever, wouldn't be even thinking about that.
But you guys now have decided that drinking alcohol is uncool. Now it's 7:32. I have not had a beer.
This is what he does. He always tells you when he hasn't had a beer, but he's always had a beer. We know the truth. He's probably had a beer before he started. Then he started drinking this, and then eventually he'll get to the beer.
I'm in the safety of my own house. I'm not endangering anybody's
Doesn't mean you're
lives.
not an
But
alcoholic.
you now have made it that it's not cool to drink beer. Like somehow it's bad. Skull! My liver's fine
There's no fucking chance of that.
because I don't drink that much. I haven't had quadruple bypass surgery.
I think
And this is where we go into the Anthony talking about how he's going to sue John. I'm sure everybody has seen this, but I think it is poignant to see this right before we get into the next John clip.
toward the end of April, this is what I found out, because this shit's all over social media and Reddit and whatnot, that Shuley and Carl's judge has said, or lawyer, has said, we haven't heard from John's lawyer. And the court hasn't heard from John's lawyer. No one's heard from John's lawyer. There have been communications from Shuley and Carl's lawyer that John's lawyer has just not answered. And the speculation, and it's valid speculation, is that John doesn't have a lawyer anymore. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. No one knows. That's just it. No one knows. So Shuley and Carl's lawyer sent the judge a notice saying, hey, can we find out if there's still a lawyer on the other side? And can you kind of force him to answer some of our, compel him, as they say, not force, compel him to answer some of our questions here? And the judge in this case up in Rochester said, hey, yeah, how about we call a meeting and everyone has to show up, not the people involved, but the lawyers.
Okay, I was sort of under the assumption that John and Shuley and Carl had to show up for some reason. I might have missed that somewhere along the line. But nonetheless, if John's lawyers don't show up, he's fucked. So it kind of would have been imperative for him to be there in case they weren't there. Then he could say he's looking for new representation. I mean, I'm not clearly not a lawyer by any stretch of the means, but I would think if he's there, he could say something that would, stall them so he could find a new lawyer. If no one shows up, we could all be celebrating.
The lawyers in the case for both sides have to show up in front of the judge in Rochester and start sorting things out. This has been going on for quite a while. There have been no answers to a lot of the questions posed to John's attorney. And the judge is like, no, this is happening. I want the lawyers in front of me to discuss this.
And the timing is kind of weird with the GoFundMe. Maybe he was thinking that it would get a little more traction. He'd get a little bit more money and he could, dump a bunch of money into the lawyer and have him show up. But obviously that's not working. So if his lawyer doesn't show up, it's a win for everyone. I mean, I know Shuley and Carl actually really care about what happens, but for us, it's an absolute win because he doesn't deserve a fucking penny.
And again, from what it looks like, it doesn't look like John has a lawyer. And if his lawyer doesn't show up, or if John doesn't show up in his stead, he will default on the case and lose the case.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
So he might lose that way. But I think any way, shape, or form this case goes through or doesn't go through, John is losing it. He doesn't have a good case here.
Okay, I'm seeing in the comments they're saying if his counsel doesn't show up, then it will be dismissed. Oof. The timing of the GoFundMe is unique. It's very unique to say the least that the GoFundMe came out and it's very close to him trying to get some money for his counsel. I believe, I could be completely wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but I bet that has something to do with it.
And then, I have had some issues with some of the things John has said on his show.
Here we go.
On social media. I consider it to be slanderous, and I have secured a lawyer. And the day he loses this case, I am telling the lawyer to go forward with a defamation case against Stuttering John.
Beautiful. And it's beautiful because John said that he has nothing to worry about. And I'm sure a lot of us know this. John claims that he has nothing to worry about. He hasn't said anything bad about Anthony. He doesn't know what it could possibly be. And if anything, Anthony has said bad things about him. But then yesterday, I don't watch a ton of Shuli's shows, but yesterday I happened to see a clip from Doom where Anthony and Shuli did a show and they covered this, and there are show after show after show of John calling Anthony a pedophile. That's going to be an interesting situation for John because we know John doesn't have money.
I'm going to let him get through this. I don't want any distractions in the case because
By the way, check out those clips from Doom and also Stalin. I've taken some of Stalin's clips and filter them in here. So check out both their channels. They're great clippers, very funny guys or girls, whatever. Let's keep going.
I know Shuli and Carl have this thing wrapped up with their lawyer. Their lawyer is amazing. John, again, who even knows if he has a lawyer? But the day that case is settled, I am filing suit. I already have it with the lawyer that this will go down. I am filing a defamation suit against John. So
now, I guess Pocky now is saying he's going to sue me.
This is where we go into the right after, where John starts discussing the fact that Anthony's going to sue him. So here we go.
Join the club, Pocky. I never said anything out of the ordinary. You can go look through my tweets.
Cue that montage, man. I wish I had that right now.
There's nothing that is defamatory. But I will say to you, Poxter, what you said about me is defamation. Unfounded, out of nowhere. And Pocky, you said it on Shitwayer's show. Now, I ask you, Poxter, you were saying that I'm somehow responsible for what Ava says on my show. Now,
If I'm wrong, I might be wrong here, but I believe when Chauncey was on the show the other day, John said that, what's that cat's name? Fuck. There's so many goofy fucking characters. Anyway, John was saying that guy was responsible for what Chauncey was saying on his show. Now that,
last I checked, I'm not CNN. I can't control what somebody says on my show. I don't have that kind of control.
but you want other people
This
to do
is
that.
a podcast. That was one of your reasons. And any other, I believe,
That's it, Grillo. Thank you.
was about retweets, which you could go look at the law on that.
The lore.
But I defy you to find something that was really defamatory, considering everything or anything that I read at Rodney's was all documented. And we have you on tape saying I've already talked about all of this.
Anthony has talked about it. Anybody who is a fan of Anthony, he's talked about it for years on the Anthony Cumia show, with Artie, without Artie. Thousands of times he's talked about this. So John thinks it's a win that he went up there and discussed that on stage. Like, he looked like a fucking clown.
We have that tape too, Poxter. So, all right, you want to sue me? Sue me.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when John saw the montage of him calling him a pedophile over and over and over again.
But my anti-slap, it will be huge. To quote your favorite person in life, huge. It'll be bigly.
And it's funny for those of you who may not know, Anthony lives in South Carolina where there is no anti-slap law. So chances are John wouldn't get anything for, he wouldn't get his lawyer fees paid. So that would be great.
I'm not responsible for your past. I'm not responsible for what Red Bar has said and the 100 other documentaries have said. I'm not responsible for your actions or whatever they're claiming were your actions. I'm not responsible
John, for you to call him a pedophile, though, you need proof.
for that. But what you said about me, saying that you know as a fact on Shitway, so this is what you said, that
I'm going to call you a liar.
raped, was it 1 or 2 women in Las Vegas? Now, that never happened.
Again, I don't watch a lot of Shuli, but apparently it was clearly a joke to everyone on the show that Ant was saying this in a joking manner. So I would love to find that and see that.
Obviously. But you decided to say that. Now, that is defamation. So,
Not
hey,
if he was kidding.
you want to bring it on, Pocky?
Not if he was clearly kidding, John. You're going to have a problem.
Bring it on, because I don't fear you.
You
But
should.
all of this I get on Easter. Oh, Pocky's threatening to sue you, and for what?
But he was probably drunk on Easter because that's a day that you would drink if you were going to drink.
What the did I do? This is all shit that Pocky admits he talked about. At least
The fuck did I do? John, I mean, you're a piece of shit. What do you mean?
he did at Rodney's when I was reading all that shit. This is documented shit. But again, I don't.
He's the smartest guy. The smartest.
I am not somebody that go, I know as a fact that he did this.
What?
I know as a fact
I think your show is literally based off that.
that he did that. No, I don't do that. You do that. And you accused me and said you know it as a
Well, if he said that you graped somebody, what? That's not a bad thing.
fact that I raped somebody in Las Vegas. That's defamation. It's unfounded. There's no
You didn't need to
stories.
grape someone.
There's no anything. Not even hearsay. That's blatant defamation. I even called a lawyer after that.
But he just said he had nothing to worry about.
And he was frothing at the mouth to do it. I said, you know what? I'm involved with a lawsuit right now. Let's put it on the back burner, and then let me get through one at a time here.
I love how he acts like he's got nothing to worry about as he's telling us how he's basically saying how worried he is as he's saying that he's not worried. It's mind-boggling.
Rumor has it you a jelly of the Grillo verse. I guess this is their new little thing, Adam, to keep bringing up Grillo. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, according to my sources here, he's been really talking a lot of shit about you on the show. So I think you should threaten him. I think you should tell him you're going to kick his arse or something.
Yeah, according to your sources, who, Shmuel Buckman?
I think there's a chance that it's the greatest looking woman of all time is either Jennifer
Or Ava.
Lopez or Tia Carrera.
I just got news that I just don't. You know what? I do not. It is amazing to me. So now Steve Grillo is trashing my friend Vegas Bear Sells Jerry, saying
This is something I wanted to get to anyway. The super tip system does give some information about the emailer, well, or where the email came from. You can anonymously send a super tip, but you don't have the information of like their whole thing from what I see so far. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen so far, you just have like the email on your. Maybe if you went into Stripe, you could probably look further. I'm not saying that this guy wouldn't use that email to try to dox somebody, and he may very well. But to me, Super Tip seems on the up and up so far. Stripe might have a little more information. I haven't gotten a ton of Super Tips, so I haven't really looked into seeing if you could see further. And I would be honest with you if you can. But you know, if they're connected to John, Grillo did make the right call in saying that, you know, he didn't want that guy around because John is looking for any angle to fuck people, and then he'll lie and say that he didn't.
He'll never work. He'll never hang with him again because he's accusing Jerry of doxing people, and Jerry's never doxed anybody. So Steve is believing what Chitway is saying and making these statements, these unfounded statements against a sweet guy who only tried to help him. This is the kind of nonsense that happens, Adam. You know, I mean, I'm now I gotta send Steve the link. I'm gonna be like, what the f- is wrong with you?
This is what we need. We need the Grillo versus Stutter and John showdown.
It's not. No, it's not. It's like I hook you
John's gonna lose another friend and somebody who was an ally. I love it.
up with my friend to help you. He helps you set shit up, and now you're gonna
Set shit up. I mean, granted, I'm a dum-dum, so this new console was a little bit more difficult for me to figure out. But I mean, Super Tip is not challenging once you figure it out. Like, you don't need a guy. I guess going back and forth, Grillo is probably obviously more well known than I am, so he probably gets a bunch of Super Tips, but he's not getting that many. It's not hard to go back and forth, you know, while your guest is talking.
fucking throw him under the bus. This is, it's so fucking typical. Mr. Sauvage's never sent picture of Larda. Pictures are not doxing. And
It's
one
not?
picture is not doxing.
If somebody doesn't want to be known to the public and you find out who they are and then you put their picture, that's doxing, John.
Sorry. Evans Gate, you said Vegas Bear sells an event. Doxing. No, I didn't. Lie.
Carter's family.
God. All right. Well, listen, Adam, I'm going to let you go because I got to deal with this Steven shit right now.
No problem.
I mean, this, because I know Steve called me today. So I just want to say,
And I didn't need anything from him at that time, so I didn't answer the phone.
Siri, call Steve Grillo. I stutter on Siri. Siri, call Steve Grillo.
Oh boy, you're on the air.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
You're on the air with Chauncey.
Hey, Chauncey, how are you?
I love how much Chauncey's been shitting on John lately. I actually would like to have Chauncey on the show one day. I know it's a little too soon, a little too much Chauncey right now, but I would like to hear from him a little more, less about his family life and more about what he intimately knows about John from back in the day, because there has to be stories there.
I'm good. How are you, John?
Good. How's Ireland? I just had Adam Musi from Ireland on the show.
He's a cop. Do you know him?
Oh, it's terrible. We call it New Africa now.
Oh. Hey, Steve, when you get a chance, I'm hearing a lot of like you trashing Jerry now, and he ain't.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Hold on a second. I just said I didn't understand the hate for Jerry.
He didn't dox anybody. They're lying to you.
I know, but
He said, I didn't understand the need for Jerry. And then John doesn't answer that. He just says something about him not doxing.
I'm getting threats left and right.
Yeah, I know, but Steve, grow a pair. Steve, I love you, brother. Grow a pair.
Grow a pair. The guy's trying to make money from a show, and when you don't make money, you bitch and complain.
Don't let these guys bully you to think that Jerry's a bad guy. Jerry's the sweetest guy in the world.
Not sweeter than me, though.
All I said is I don't know what's going on, And if people are worried about this guy stealing their information, then I just won't use it.
No, he does not do that. They're lying. That's the only reason I just want to, because I know you called me this afternoon. I just wanted to tell you they're lying to you. That's not Jerry. Jerry's a great guy, and you know that. You hung with him.
He's connected to you, John. There's no way he's a great guy. I mean, if he was somewhat of a great guy and he's connected to you, it's hard to believe he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to talk to you about it before I got on the air because these people now, they're all protesting. Doing any of my super tips.
Yeah, I know they do it all the time. Don't worry, but
Big thing about it.
They do it all the time, but when they do it to me, it's an enormous problem, and I freak the fuck out. But it's okay if they're doing it to you when you're trying to run a show.
Twitter, and I told them to shut the fuck up, and now they want me to apologize for it. So,
no, but do me a favor. Call me after your show.
false information.
Yeah, call me after your show. Chauncey, I hope all's well, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you, John.
That's it. You see, this is the dude. I left the fridge door open, and it starts blinking. No, I'm 60 and in great shape. Yeah, I'm still alive. Yeah,
I was gonna say something mean.
still alive. Isn't that great? Oh, now it's a fake surgery, right? Yeah, that's why I have the bracelet. Yeah, okay. Well, that's one problem, Oracle. I might not be on. I might not be allowed to get on a plane. I might have to cancel
Here we go.
my gigs. That's the problem. I gotta read what the doctor told me. I was out of it. Skull. I do know that I was under the knife for 2 hours. 2 hours. And I didn't get home till 8 o'clock last night. They said that I don't know if I could fly. I don't know. I gotta check because
Get all oxied up and get on the plane, dude. You're not above that.
and then if I did I put this on backwards? No. Did I? No. But if I can't, then
The way he's pulling it down, it sure fucking looks like it's on backwards.
I gotta cancel these gigs. So I don't know. I gotta figure that out. I gotta talk to the doctor. I know he's gonna want to do a follow-up. So let me just tell you what happened if you want to.
I mean, I don't know about that. You want to see a guy a couple days after surgery, like 7 or 8 days after a surgery? I don't know if that adds up to me. I don't know. I've never broke any bones or anything, knock on wood. I don't know if a doctor would want to see. Wouldn't they want to see it heal a little bit? And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
No, I don't care. If you don't want to know, it doesn't really bother me. I don't give a shit. It's my show. So here's the rest. Oh, this is the funniest part about this. Obviously, it's a new bandage, a new everything. And they came in on this side.
Republic, I'm looking at the chats right now. I think I would like for you to be my new looking up the research because you're on top of things.
And they put in a rod connecting all the bones together, probably diagonally. And then on this side is one chip. Well, I'm sorry. This side's the rod. So they got a rod here, and then there's one chip here, and there's a plate that holds everything together. So 2 hours under the knife. Now I got to worry about staph infection.
But don't worry, I don't feel any pain.
I got to worry about all of that nonsense. And I also got to worry about when he wants to see me for the x-rays to make sure the procedure was good. And all of this while I'm supposed to be flying to New York on April 14th. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And I meant to call the doctor today. But of course, now I'm allergic to oxycodone. As you all know, I can't take it.
Allergic? But he took it, so he didn't have an allergic reaction that I'm aware of.
Now, watch what's funny about this. So they put in a nerve blocker. Now, I'm going to do this for you. So they put a nerve blocker. So I still can't feel this left part of my arm. So watch this. As soon as I go up like that. Oh, wait, you got to do like this. It's not working now.
You should probably done it before your show to check.
All right, well, if I was lying down, As soon
If I was lying,
as I get up to this point, I punch myself in the face.
and we all want to see that.
I guess it's only when I lie down. Like, see that jerk reaction? See how that works? So if I'm lying down and my face is right here, it just automatically. So I kept hitting myself in the face.
Only
So
10
my
more minutes of this pain, everyone.
father was reincarnated into my arm. Skull! I want to thank all the people that donated to my GoFundMe. I'm up to 500.
Those people should be ashamed of themselves that they gave him $500. It is fucking crazy.
And counting. I didn't want to do it at first, but those idiots did it. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah, they did it because it was an unnecessary lawsuit. So they wanted help with their legal funds. You are, just following them.
Why not?
And you claim to be a millionaire. As far as I know, Shuli and Carl have never claimed to be millionaires. You have over and over.
There's power in money. And why not have some power for myself? Now, there's a lot to talk about today. I do want to address something about Rob Saul. Not going to trash him. I'm not going to trash him.
There's no way.
But I will tell you, I get it. He says that we weren't close friends. And I get it. He says close friends are for his family. And that's totally understandable. I like Rob. I consider Rob a friend. I wouldn't have invited Rob to the Belmont if I didn't consider him a friend.
How about an empty invite that would have never happened?
I was going to take him out to dinner. And if you asked 30 Deeds, we were arranging a ride for Rob. So we didn't have to.
This is another thing John always does. And I've noticed this from a lot of the videos. And, Artie kind of touched on it at one point, and then it kind of made me wake up to it. John always has to add someone else to the story to make it legit. Like, him and another guy did this, and that's how you know it's true because another guy was involved. But you never really hear the other guy's side of the story to say, yes, that it's true. John just throws people in there.
Take a bus. That's because I'm a kind human being. And I
You're
really do
not
like
kind.
Rob. And that's a fact, Jack. When Rob was having some criminal issues, I sent him my crime report. He's the only person I ever sent it to.
Criminal issues.
Why, you might ask? Because I considered Rob to be a friend. He did my show a lot, and
Rob was literally going through a situation where he needed money. John could have given him $25 to $50 a show, and Rob would have been happy about that. John gave him nothing. So the fact that we all knew the backstab was coming eventually.
I was reminded of this by quite a few of my friends who follow the Stableverse. I forget some of the kind things that I do because I do so many.
Yeah, right.
But Rob used to credit me for getting his monetization. He said it was because I kept doing John's show, and then those people came over to my show.
Yeah, mainly to troll him. It's not really a gift when they're coming over to fuck with him.
Hey, whatever. I remember he would say that. But good for him, because I'm happy he's making money. Skull. And again, I'm not going to trash him, but
good point in the comments there, Rubbish. My esteemed colleague over here just pointed out that cast doesn't look like a cast from a surgery. It just looks like they wrapped it up. Like, wouldn't it be in a hard cast? Why isn't it in a hard covered cast?
Today I was told he was on the show with Kiana, the girl who ultimately stabbed me in the back for no apparent reason, while I was simply just kind to her, putting her on gigs. I didn't have to do that. I didn't. And I plug her on the radio.
What radio?
I plug her name and Gino's, and we put their pictures in the advertisement.
Unfortunately for myself, I watch of Dabbleverse content wouldn't that radio appearance have been all over the Dabbleverse if like somebody would have clipped that? There's no way he was on the fucking radio.
Which I thought was pretty cool and being a good guy to them. But Rob was on with Keanu. And this is and Deb from, a nice podcast, Stupid. Now, I'm not going to go crazy, not going to unleash. I'm happy in Rob's sobriety. I wish him the best. I have no problem with him. He had told me, he called me from the rehab. I know that as a fact. I have the number. It's all
Don't worry, he has the number.
true. So he must have thought I was a friend enough that he would call me from his rehab. Either way, I was touched when he told me one of the reasons why he did it when we talked, and I was touched. I really was. I was very happy, and I still am very happy for Rob. So there's really nothing to clip here. Don't
Speak for yourself.
think that was another kind of shot. Besides, I was never close
The Clippers are smart enough to know that if you say there's nothing to clip here, they're probably going to clip it.
with John. Okay. All right. I'll take it. You were never close to me. I get it. You were closer with me than you were with Shitware. That's a fact check. You were closer with me than you were Lady K and his mom wife. That's a fact check. But
That might be true, but what's in Rob's best interest is to stay the fuck away from you.
that's whose show you did. But okay. Now, then I hear of this little jab. Now, I have over 600 people who watch me, right? I make pretty good money
He said troll wrong. They troll him. They don't watch him.
doing this. And Rob said to Keanu, the only reason people watch are to mock me or something like that, or to
Rest my
the only
case.
reason people watch me are to laugh at me.
Yeah, because you're not. The only time you're being funny is when you either fuck up or you're being sincere to the point where everyone is mocking you.
They don't watch me because they're fans or something like that. Now, okay. It's kind of a little jab. It's uncalled for. People watch me, and Rob did this show because I'm good and I'm funny and I'm a nice person.
What?
And I've had a career that nobody else in the Stableverse has had, and Howard found me funny.
When you go on the Ricky Lake show, when you go on the Last Call show, when you do these shows, when you go on the Conan show, you turn to people inevitably afterwards and you go, hey, was I funny? I'm going to tell you something about yourself. You are the least funny person I've ever met.
I don't think it could be any more blunt than that.
You are not funny.
Okay.
You're obnoxious.
Okay.
You're not funny.
All right.
I'll tell you what's funny about you. You stutter. When you go on TV and you try to be me, it's not funny.
All right.
It's off obnoxious.
Okay.
It's a very fine line.
Weird. Funny.
You are funny when you...
Jay found me funny. Tonight Show found me funny, and
No one found you funny ever, my friend.
all the shows after that, and all the movies after that. So obviously,
Movies.
I've done
Speaking of
enough.
movies, I'm thinking about, unfortunately, buying John's DVD and doing somewhat of like a watch along, listen along on Patreon. I think that would be fun. I don't think I could probably put the video up because John would probably find out eventually and fuck with me in some way. But maybe you could hear the audio in the background and, comment similar to this. That might be fun. I know everybody has done it, but I've never seen the movie, so maybe it would be kind of a little bit of shock value since I've never seen it.
Enough. I've had plenty of my own shows as well. So obviously, people see a value to me. Now, I don't know why he said that. It could be sometimes people just say things, so I'm not going to beat him up for it. Yeah, because a lot of my haters say that. Pocky started saying that, Rob. So you're just kind of mimicking Pocky. We just watch to laugh at you. Yeah, that lament has been around for a while. It's nothing new. That's what they say. Let's just agree to disagree.
Oh, well, someone just said in the comments he doesn't make any money off of it. So that'd be great, even better.
I think people watch me because they find me entertaining. And I do a good show. And I have interesting guests on.
He does none of those things. He has Ava is an interesting guest, not interesting for the reasons that he's saying. She's interesting to fucking wonder what the fuck is going on there. And all of his other guests are fucking ball washers. That $2 Dan guy, man, holy shit. I hope that's a troll, because if that's how he really is, man, oh man.
And I change things up. And I don't do the same show every day. And I rarely watch clips, and I rarely snipe. So it's a different show. Do I do silly things? Yes. But that's part of my charm.
You did not come up with any of the silly things. Someone gave him the advice to do some of those silly things, which were bizarre and idiotic. So it's not like you're doing silly things that people are like, oh, that was funny, John. Like, he's doing idiotic things that just aren't funny.
But that was a dig. And I'm just going to let it roll over my back. Not going to trash Rob. Again, Rob, I wish you well in your sobriety. Skull. I'm just saying, just remember, I was always had your back.
You haven't.
From the nose and glasses, I argued on your behalf over and over again, to the dog bullshit, I argued on your behalf. And when you needed help with a criminal thing, I was there for you.
What about the
And
money?
you did
What about when he needed help monetarily? What about that?
say that because of doing my show, it helps you get monetized. And you've said that on numerous occasions. And that's fine. I will always have your back. And I'll always be there for you if you haven't.
I got to remember this, and when he finally does start shitting on him, which will be in the next couple of days, we can cut back to this.
Need me. And if I do go to the Belmont again, you are invited. And that's it. So that's all I have to say about that. Now, there's something I want to point out that
2 minutes left, guys.
I find to be comical in a way. And I'll talk a little bit about the surgery because there are some interesting things that going on here. So I put my GoFundMe on my Facebook. And one of the interesting things that I found is people said, well, you sued them. Why should we help you? But I want you all to understand one simple fact that you are missing. I am all about freedom of speech. I have a song.
That is absolutely absurd to say. He is all about freedom of speech. I mean, again, I don't have definitive proof where I could just pop it on the screen and say, look, John took down my monetization. But I'm pretty fucking sure that he did, because most of the people in my comments have been nothing but amazing and cool and, respectful. Sometimes here and there you get some shitty things, but I take it in fun, and, sometimes, obviously some of them annoy you, but for the most part, it's all in good fun. He does not do that. You cannot do anything in John's life where he's not trying to protect himself from being fucked with in any way. So he's not for your freedom of speech.
On my first album called One Thing. It's the hidden track. I'm all about the First Amendment. What I'm not about is using my name, voice, and likeness without my knowledge or written consent. That's the most important part. Without my written consent.
John would, so he's going to call Shuli up and say, yeah, here's my written consent for you to fuck with me.
To make money off of my performance, make money off of my name, my likeness, and my image for profit.
Someone should, because you can't, motherfucker.
And yes, I sued them. It was my last resort.
Penny.
Let me remind you. I went to the FBI. I called the FBI. I filled out a report with the FBI. All documented.
I would have loved to have been the FBI agent that had to deal with this dumb dick.
I filled out a report with the Los Angeles Police Department, all documented. I filled out a report with the Cape Coral PD, all documented, and it didn't stop because the authorities have bigger things to do.
Yeah, and you're a 60-year-old man that is being trolled online. You want it to stop. Get off the internet, John.
So I was only left with this to protect my rights. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me bring on my good buddy, Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid.
And we only have about 2 minutes of this, but this guy's a ball washing extraordinaire. Like, he should give a college class at the school that his sister coaches basketball at to fucking talk about ball wash. If you want to get a good job, this is how you ball wash.
Hey, Dan.
Johnny, how's it going, man? Welcome back.
Did you always have this mustache?
Oh, one more thing before we get into this. I was watching John before I hopped on here today, and Nice Podcast Stupid Dan was talking about the people at Hackmania and how they are trading pedophilia tapes, probably shouldn't, YouTube terms of service, at Hackmania. Where's the proof of that? I mean, you just say things like that, like that's insanity. But he claims to be a very smart man. Everybody on here that trolls John is dumb and shouldn't be doing it, but he's a genius saying things like that. Like, what is your proof of that? Number one. And are there people there probably doing nefarious things like drugs and stuff? Of course, it's fucking Vegas. I'm sure they're getting crazy. They're grown adults. They can do what they want. But I'm sure, and again, I don't know this as a fact. Maybe he knows something I don't know, which he doesn't. But I know they're not trading tapes there. Like, that's ridiculous. You think Dr. Steve, a respected doctor, would go there if he had any inkling that was happening? Probably not.
I mess around with it every once in a while. I thought I'd bring it back since you're back. I thought I'd bring it back. Man, you are coming in hot as a pistol. I love it, brother. You are a man on a mission today.
Aren't I always?
I know. What else is new? When you called me earlier, I was like, well, John's, recovering. I don't know if he's got it in him. Maybe he won't even do a show. Maybe he'll take a nap. Boy, was I wrong. You came in on fire, and I love it. Giving the business to Rob Saul. Rob Saul, I mean, we got to talk about Rob, of course. But before we do that, congratulations on the GoFundMe. Over $500 today. They said it couldn't be done, John. It's happening.
$500. That's a motherfucking drop in the bucket for what's coming this guy's way.
It's all coming. Everything is happening. The wins are stacking back up again. It's like you never.
That's why, I agree with some of the people in the chat saying that this has to be a troll in some way, because $500. I think Dan gave 100 or 200 of that 500
left. So congratulations on that.
No, and it'll continue happening because I haven't even hit my high roller friends yet. And when it'll start going up and up. I initially didn't want to do it because I didn't want it to appear to be a grift, but now it's like
it appears to be a grift.
Well, if they're gonna do it, then why don't I build up my war chest?
They were clearly doing something that borders on money laundering. The way that they were getting the money, and they could say whatever they want. Oh, it's going to the lawyer. Well, then why is Dr. Steve involved? Why do you have all these people with their
Why do
hands
you
in the
keep
bag?
asking for an anti-slap if you have all this money?
Yeah. So there's shenanigans going on. Don't kid yourself. You've got the right to defend yourself.
Well, and that's the end of the video. I just want to point out that this guy just says things. I hope that there's a payoff to this. Like, I hope he's going to continue to, ball wash John, and then there's a payoff at some point where we're like, wow, I mean, at least he fucked with him. Like, I don't think that's necessary for the Dabbleverse. We have plenty of content. We don't need him to fuck with him, but I don't understand the immense ball washing. You can find clip after clip of him just sucking John's dick, and it's absolutely absurd. But I hope you guys enjoyed these clips. I'm gonna try to do this, a couple times a month. I'll post on YouTube and kind of give a heads up. Today was a little bit of a weird day because I know Misery Loves Company was live. I saw that right before I jumped on, and then John was live, so probably affected getting some views. But hey, listen, that's not what we're here for. We're here to point out what a scumbag John is, and continue to do that. I did see something about my monetization. It won't be back in, well, I can resubmit in July. So again, I'm probably going to be posting more stuff on Patreon just because, you know, I don't want to give YouTube the numbers. I'll leave this up. Hopefully, you know, we get a decent amount of views. And then next week, I'll probably take it down. Not this video, but the next one that I do, I'll probably take it down and put it on Patreon. Try to get some Patreon, you know, numbers. There is a free trial for the week if you want to just give it a whirl. You know, I'm gonna have a pretty funny video next week with a couple of gotcha moments with John, even though you don't even need that because he does it himself. So we'll continue to do this 6:30 Eastern. You know, obviously the super tip thing, I don't know, people might not be a fan of it or whatever, but I did add John to the voice chats, but I'm glad no one did that today because I still have to figure out how to do that on a live stream. But again, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate the support. We have a wonderful community. Whether John takes me down at some point or not, or someone does, I don't know who could possibly do that at this point. But I think our community of people watching this channel are great. You guys are very supportive. The Patreon is fun so far. We're building that up, you know, obviously slowly because I think people are a little slow to hop over there. But I can see the numbers growing a little bit, so it's nice to know that people care. And, you know, thank you guys so much again. I can't thank you enough. And we'll continue moving forward in our fight against stupidity and being a horrible human being. Not to say that we are all great human beings at all the time, but we are better than John. And that's all that matters to me. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you next week. Be sure to comment in the comments for this. And thank you guys again.